Welcome to another edition of POS, the podcast where we find the piece of shit and stories you don't care about. With me, as always, is the lovely, beautiful Bobby Tamburo. Say hi, Bobby.
Bang, bang. What's going on, guys?
There he is. And before we start the show, of course, if you like food, but your food tastes like shit, go over to Silk City Hot Sauce and make it taste better. Now, remember, we know the rules. If you're a pedophile, you're not allowed to buy the sauce. That's the rules. I'm sorry. That's the rules. If you don't touch kids, then you can have all the sauce you want. But if you do, you have to have Frank's Red Hot. That's how it works. That's what they do. It's not our fault. It's above our heads. Go over to SilkCityHotSauce.com. Use the promo code POS. Save 15% on all the awesome flavors. The Jeff and his family, he makes them work like slave labor, like children labor, and pick the vegetables themselves. He bought other kids just to make them pick the peppers. They don't live, but you can taste the flavor of the death in the sauce. It's amazing. Go there, try it out for Christmas. You can give the gifts to everybody. It's wonderful. The art on the front. Use POS as your promo code. Save 15%. Now, remember, pedophiles, if you do buy it, don't say you're a pedophile, and then you can use the promo code. Bobby?
Hey. It's the POS show with your host, Pat Oates, and your co-host, Bobby Tamburo. And joining us this week, and I don't know why I'm doing this like a real announcer, but it's from Total BS Live. We got Brian and Shayna. What's going on, guys? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it. We're also pieces of shit, but we have the bullshit to back it up. So
don't feel like you have to up your production for us.
It's those compressed mics. I'll tell you what.
Third bedroom.
It's in my head.
It's funny how many people are live from their bedrooms, and then they pretend like they're not. Like, my bed is on the other side of this. So we're all doing that. We all have studios in our homes. Of course.
Pat saw me adjusting my camera so you couldn't see either the trash can or my bed in the shot, like right before we started.
Yeah, our joke is that we drove 50 miles to get to our studio, and gas is expensive. You know, we try to make it a belaboring issue that we're doing a show on behalf of all the bullshit that we
walked about 8 feet from our bedroom.
That's correct.
There was traffic. It took you a little while, but you got there.
So. we had to go downstairs and get a drink.
That's true.
That is kind of the new model a little bit. I'm a little worried about Silk City Hot Sauce because I've been on several people's podcasts now where they plug it, Pat, and then my go-to move is like today I was on Ray DeVito's and he gives his code and I was like, hey, Matt Moran, you know what else is great about Silk City Hot Sauce? The promo code POS. It's much easier to remember. And I've just been trying to steal their sales.
And that's fine. I'm assuming the thing with my pedophile pitch might be hurting the sales a little bit, but I want to just make sure that message is out there. That's all.
It's for the kids. You know,
it's
FTK.
Actually not. Oh, my message.
Yeah, your message. Yeah. It's like Wu-Tang.
So, yeah, Jeff said he likes it every time, but it's not like people. When I wasn't doing the pedophile part, we were selling more with our promo code.
I think that says more about our fans than it does about us. So if you guys don't want to be accused of being pedophiles, just use the promo code POS.
Yeah, I think it just means all our listeners were pedophiles. Unfortunately, they're like, oh, shoot, we can't buy it.
But two people who aren't pedophiles, Brian and Shayna, how did you guys get into this?
Yeah, we have kids, but
you can't be a pedophile if you have kids.
We have our own kids.
I
made them.
I don't think that's true. I think that's. I have kids. I'm also not a pedophile. So congratulations on you.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm saying a lot of people that got molested. It's not by like strangers. It's about someone who raised them.
So you're saying parents are the ones doing the molesting?
Well, some of them do. Not you guys.
Not you.
No. You guys wouldn't have a podcast. You'd be too
busy.
busy diddling your kids. You can't have a podcast and do that.
Wow. This is off to a great start.
Yeah. Well, you're the one who brought that part up. I wasn't going to.
You brought it up.
I think it's crazy. You don't think somewhere out there are parents being awful.
I mean,
every day, actually. Every day.
Yes.
It's me.
Yeah.
So good
I'm
for
not
you
acknowledging the fact that I'm a parent.
I don't know why that popped in my head.
Yeah, Bobby looks like a kid, so he can have the best of both worlds. He can do both.
I thought he was your son.
He is.
Pretty much, comedically anyway.
This is the visitation rights that we have.
So we met through comedy. How did you guys meet? Were you a thing before the show? Did the show turn into a thing?
We actually met on Wikipedia.
That's impressive.
Yeah, we were looking under radio hosts, and we found each other there.
That's pretty impressive. I thought it was going to be like a moderator, like the way she uses your versus your. Really, I knew I had to meet this lady. Turns out she also had a passion for doing podcasting.
Yeah, no, we met the good old-fashioned way on a dating app.
There you go.
Oh, through an app, and that worked out? That's crazy.
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Were you guys on the apps a lot? before you found each other, or was it like one of the first people you found was each other?
I think I was maybe like a couple months. You were what?
Yeah, a
A
couple
month?
months. Yeah.
Yeah, not too long.
I was getting out of a marriage.
Yeah.
Wow. Whatever
That's the best way to
app
do
you
it.
guys met
Got out
on
of the
should
marriage
hire
first,
you.
then got on the app.
That's
right. Yeah.
Don't just start a
I like how you
relationship.
cleared that up. It's like,
Yeah.
Gotta have clarification there.
Yeah.
Whatever
That's
app you
cool.
were on should hire you guys. You should be the new spokespeople and be like, don't just start an app, start a whole media empire.
We actually met through Manscaped.
Nice.
And we didn't say which app.
Where you guys writing Yelp reviews, it doesn't work. I'm still hairy as can be. Like, this is awful.
I was actually on my way out. I was like ready to quit the apps, and I was like, he had texted me once, and then we never met up. And so I sent him a message, and I said, I'm leaving the app, and you just may have missed out on the best girl here.
Nice. I like the
Never texted me
confidence in
back.
that.
And he responded immediately.
Of course he did. He's like,
The
"This
level
chick's
of
desperate."
confidence,
No,
that's
think about it.
incredible.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what got me actually.
Was,
Yeah.
was that it?
The confidence, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
we know
Oh,
how it worked the other way.
hear
It was
you.
the beard.
It, beard works. Beard works.
That's-
I don't really do
I'm
the dating
striving
app
for it.
stuff. I like meeting people in person. It's weird for me to do that stuff, but I'm not gonna lie. One thing that throws me off is that in most things in life, I'll be the first person to speak. When it comes to that, I kind of want the woman to be the first one to say something, and I know they have Bumble and things like that. But it is nice when someone does take that first step. I'll continue. I'll react. But when someone wants me to take the first step all the time, I kind of get in my head, they're going to want me to be the first to do everything. And then they're never going to want to also make decisions on their own. And I don't want to be somebody who's like so dependent. So if someone did message me and said, hey, you almost missed out, that would be a turn on thing right away to make me go, hey, wow, they can do things on their own. This is great. Like, it's like, you want an independent person that believes in themselves. That's an awesome quality.
Absolutely. I think that's the most important quality nowadays is confidence, because a lot of people, with social media and everything, it's just my daughter, she's 12, and she was actually saying the other day, without her phone, she feels a lot better. And, because she's like going through TikTok and all these things, and it's a lot of FOMO, like a fear of missing out on whatever else
That's
people
nice
are doing.
that you told them what that meant.
Yeah, like they didn't know.
I wouldn't have.
I have kids and they've said it, but that's why I know it. So it's like,
I would have missed out.
I do have to, when someone says it, I have to stop and do it. I have to go, F is fear. Okay, I have to like go through it, but yeah.
I get FOMO and FUBU mixed up all the time. I'm like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
for,
me too.
nope, wrong one.
Not the same.
Yeah.
But no, I totally get that. Like, I don't know your guys' ages, but I'm the oldest one here by far. And I have lived half my life without any social media or internet or anything, and half of it with it. And I know a lot of older people are like, oh, it was way better before. It wasn't. Like, that feeling of being able to be away from it is amazing. To go outside and just get lost with friends and family and not have the world be able to get a hold of you is great. But it is also great to be able, my parents didn't know where I was half the time. I like knowing where my kids are and being able to reach them. So I like both sides of it. But I know what you're saying. Like that, my kids sometimes will put their phones away and be like, I don't want anyone to talk to me. If I had my kids in school being able to talk to me all the time, I would have hated them even more than I did going to school with them. I like that break from them sometimes,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a lot of positives and negatives. Like one thing is really nice. You get to see, like my family lives all across the country. So like getting to spend moments, like my cousin just had a kid. And like getting to see that kid is great. But then the 30 days worth of group text messages from that family, you go, okay, might have been nice if we had to do this by mail.
Exactly. Fuck.
My Pat, do you mind if I do the first story actually?
Go for
Because it involves that cousin. So my cousin just had a baby. Congratulations, Jack. We're all proud of you. It was not a through marriage thing. It happened on the Immaculate Conception of Jesus is when the child was born. And my brother and I started sending like Maury memes to the group chat. Like I would have been dipping out like, that's God's baby. That's not mine. This is my out. And like the cousin thought it was hilarious. Like the guy whose kid it is thought it was really funny, but his mom did not. And kind of like
course, yeah.
each sent us an individual text like, knock it the fuck off.
Man.
To which we just doubled down because it's funnier at that point. We all know we've been told not to. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it me and Clyde for making fun of Jack for knocking up his girlfriend and saying he should run like Joseph? Is it my aunt who doesn't take a good joke? I can't really think of anybody else other than actual Joseph who stuck around and bought the story that, yeah, that is God's baby. Pat, we'll kick it to you first so you can show our guests how to do the.
Well, do it. It's not you. That's who you are. They wouldn't have expected a congratulations from you. You're an asshole. So like you definitely would have done that. That's fine. It's not your aunt, whatever. It's actually your cousin Jack. Because he should have gone with this. In this day and age of morons and social media, he could have really claimed that it was an immaculate conception. He could have really said that this was a new child, the second coming, and he would, and the child would have an Instagram page with 10 million followers already. People would have believed that. He'd be on CNN. He'd already be running for president. It would have been huge if they went with that. So it's your fault, Bobby, kind of, for not using your social media prowess to help out and make sure the second coming was coming from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Me and my 2,000 followers will hop right on that, Pat.
Yeah. Listen, if Anthony Cumia told his followers that the second coming was coming, first of all, it would be like Hitler would be psyched. But still, what I'm saying is that it would have been crazy, and he should have gone with it. So fuck you, Jack, for just having a regular baby.
In Jack's defense, he did kind of already have to pull that off with Aunt Nancy because she's old school and doesn't like this out of wedlock concept. But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, but how old is that old school? Like that's how old is Aunt? What's her name?
Nancy?
Like that's so like my parents are 70 and they had a kid out of wedlock. Like
at 70?
No, they just now.
That's a miracle. To
no,
be
they
honest
did back
with you.
then,
Like
but they weren't shunned. They wouldn't care.
Right.
At 70.
Even
I
think even my
now.
parents are still kind of that way.
They would care.
Oh yeah,
they're very
big
religious
time.
though, right?
Yeah. Like even more, I think they just look at it as like a commitment. Like if you're going to commit to raising a kid, you should probably be committed to the person you're with. And like, I think in today's day and age, a lot of people do that without marriage, so it's not necessarily my thing.
Yeah. Once my parents had me, they lost faith in God.
I think Mulaney said it best. That's pretty good. But it's like we're having a great time. Why? There's no need to get the government involved here. You know what I mean? We made the decision on our own. It's almost more powerful.
We don't need to get the parents involved in the mix.
All right. Good thoughts, Pat. Shayna, we'll kick it to you next.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the aunt.
Aunt Nancy.
Yes.
Aunt Nancy's that's a good answer. It's always a safe answer. It's always my mom's answer. She's not a big fan of Aunt Nancy.
Yeah, there's not many too friendly Nancys. I've never met. Every Nancy has a hard opinion.
Why do you think it's I'm sorry, you think it's the kid's mom, not the conservative Aunt Nancy?
Oh, there's two Nancys?
No, one's Joni, one I should not be using real names here.
I thought you weren't. I thought you were. I thought that's why you were getting confused because you weren't using real names.
No, so is it the guy who's now a father's mother or the one who was super conservative that he had to lie to?
Can I say both?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
That was going to be my
thing.
answer.
Both?
Yeah.
Both. Yeah.
Definitely a piece of shit. My dad was he was against having a child out of wedlock, so I know what that's all about.
I get that.
I mean, I get it. I get why people were that way, but it's just like if you're a dad and you raised you and you're a good person, you're gonna raise good kids. So like, why does it matter? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's kind of saying something about you when you put that on someone else. You know what I mean? It's like they're saying to themselves, "I couldn't have done that." Okay, but just I have faith they're gonna do well. You know?
It's kind of like when you go, who is a better person? Somebody who does the right thing because they think if they don't, they're going to burn in hell, or somebody who thinks nothing matters and does the right thing. For me, it's the guy who like doesn't have to do it with the punishment of hell. And it's kind of the same thing. If there isn't like a contract keeping you together, it's almost more like, wow, that's pretty impressive that you guys both committed, even though there's no reason that you both should be involved. You came together to raise this kid. So I get it both ways.
You know what though? There's an important question we didn't ask. Now, Jack's the mother of the child.
Yes.
Gross? Is she gross?
No.
Because that could have been it too. Like if they were like, "Oh fuck, it's gonna be an ugly baby," then they were worried. But if she's good looking, then they're like, "Yeah, we have no problem." But ugly, it's like out of wedlock, no way. Like,
well, that actually brings me to who my piece of shit is, and that's his mom. This is the best he's gonna do. He locked it down. Good for him. Like, you should let us make the jokes.
Well, I mean, she doesn't have to stay with them. It isn't old times. She could leave.
No, I think they're going to be
terrible.
together. I think they've
think
been
so?
together for years and stuff.
There's already. You think they're going to be together? They have a supportive family where like their cousin goes on a podcast and makes fun of their baby.
No, I didn't make fun of the baby yet. I didn't
think
say
it's going to
that.
work out well.
I didn't
Our
say that
lead
they better
story
call.
is that there's joy in your family.
I didn't say they better call my geneticist mother because I've never seen a forehead that big before or anything like that. No.
It's like, hey Pat, don't read your story. I got to shit on my cousin quick. Hold on, let's get this out there. It's like,
That's my dad's family, and in that family, like that cousin's 6 months older than my brother, and another cousin 6 months older than me. So it's all like they've always been a little bit better and everything. So when we found out that there was some ruckus created, we were all a little bit like, yeah, this is good.
Who got the Maury memes? Who did you send those to?
It was our whole family.
Oh, okay.
Everybody. I had to explain what memes were to Aunt Nancy, but she knew who Maury was. She's a social worker.
Does Nancy have short hair?
Yeah, she does.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nancy's the
Nancy
best,
has
by the
short
way.
hair.
She's the worst and the best.
Glasses.
Reading.
Yeah, and when she's talking, she kind of holds them.
Sometimes she's a character. She's like super religious, but at the same time, if I called her and was like, "Yo, Aunt Nancy, I just killed 3 people. I need to crash at your house," she'd be like, "All right, bring some bleach. We need lime, and we're gonna heat it." You know what I mean? Like, she's down.
Well, did you kill them out of wedlock? Are you married, Bobby? No. All right, then fine. Come on over.
She's the one who taught me the phrase "to the grave," and you'd be like, "What does that mean?" She'd be like, "Oh, we're taking this secret to the grave because if your parents find out, we're never going to be allowed to hang out again."
I get that though, because like I said, I have 2 kids that are 20 and 17, and the running joke with my kids all the time is that like they know if they did anything, I'm the pushover. I tell them I'm proud every day. They're like, all right, we get it. Stop. Maybe one day don't be proud of us. We did all I did was burp. I'm like, well, it was the best burp. Like, you're amazing. So it's like, but they literally my son made a joke like 2 years ago, and he's like, but what if I killed someone? I go, well, then I would go to jail. I would say I did it. He's like, come on. I'm like, you're not going to jail. You're my kid. He's like, but what if I did it? I go, if you could be holding a knife with blood in the body next to you, and I'd be like, it wasn't your fault. They fell on it. You know, it's like that's how bad I am with that. So I get your aunt the same way.
That's interesting because we just covered the Casey Anthony story, and I'm wondering if the dad is involved at all. I'm not sure if you've been following this, but
yeah.
Dad's an ex-police officer, and he kind of knows the ropes about everything. And Casey came to him. Maybe she told this weird ass story
Who
about
knows what really happened.
Yeah, but
Those kids,
yeah, that's true.
they know.
Yeah.
Was Casey married though?
No, it was out of wedlock. That's why it happened.
Wedlock. See,
Oh, God damn it. Where was Nancy?
Yeah.
Nancy needs to step in.
I wish, man.
If
Nancy
Nancy
would have solved
solves
that
this
problem.
case, that'd be awesome. Yeah, you know what? I've always thought that there had to be someone helping her figure all that out because their stories have always changed and been kind of crazy. And you know what I mean? So it's like, not that she couldn't do it, but it's that kind of panic. You're going to go to somebody, right? You would think.
She's living with her lawyers now. That's the weirdest
That's
part.
a little suspect, yeah.
I mean, the
So
fact that
she
we're
lived
still
with
talking
the
about
lawyer, and then they broke up, and now she lives with the private investigator, which is even like funnier. She's just going down the whole defense team.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that part.
Wow.
her and Jean Benet's parents should get a reality show where they just live in an apartment and have fun. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that. It's like life without kids, and they're just like having a good time.
It's a new reality show, I think.
It's like who doesn't need a babysitter? It's like, it's the name of the show. It's like
MTV's 30
We're
and
all
suddenly
going to hell
unburdened.
for that.
oh, that. No, you guys are. I did it. You chuckled, but you all look both ways for. I get it. So it's
Right.
Yeah. It's,
and this is me being tame because Bobby's like, they're nice people. I'm like, all right, I'll try.
Have you seen our show?
I have not yet.
I did a
but
deep
have you-
dive.
Yeah, but did you hear my commercial to start it? Okay, it's like, anyways.
If it's a who can be worse contest, nobody wins.
Well, speaking of people that are thought is terrible, our next story, PornHub reveals most popular 2022 searches, and it says Texas, you should be ashamed. They did
I'm
all
from
the top
Texas.
searches, which is weird. I don't know. The company released the dirty data on Tuesday, revealing that lesbian was the most searched term across all 50 states, with hentai. Is that how you pronounce it? Hentai. It's the a type of Japanese anime following close behind. I don't know. Is hentai?
I like how you're pretending. Like, is it called hentai?
I know, I'm serious. I
Hentai?
know. I watch anime with my kids, but I don't watch sex with my kid. What is hentai? Cartoon sex?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's?
Oh.
Why?
I think so.
Sometimes you
Good
drop a
save.
nuclear bomb on a country, and
Awesome.
the results
yes,
are
I
weird.
mean, I've heard. It's like, no, I think it's what it is. It's like, but in anime 4, I guess that's why is it number 2?
Yeah, that's what it is. And it's like there they have really weird censorship laws. So like you can't show genitalia. So like if you watch Japanese porn from Japan, it's blurred, but then you can draw a girl with octopi.
Well, Bobby, that's not true. I've been with Asian women. They actually have blurry genitalia. That's just how
Yeah.
it's like
Oh
Bigfoot.
man, I just thought I needed new
Big pixels.
glasses.
Yeah, it just
It's
moves
like
fast.
Minecraft sex.
Same for the men.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I was wrong to say that. My bad. It's all the Asians, men and female, very blurry.
Blocky. Very blocky.
And like their food, it comes in 15, 20 minutes. It's amazing. It's there you go.
Leaves you hungry 20 minutes
You're
later.
hungry again in 15 to 20.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
They say hello. All right. Meanwhile, the words blowjob, cosplay, and trans also saw considerable search growth, while transgender exploded in popularity to become America's 4th most viewed category overall. According to, which makes me feel like there's an agenda there. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't, but like,
It's all political.
like they're in there politically searching it a lot just to make sure. See, it's normal. Everyone's doing it. They're all cartoons and that. It's like, right next. By the way, I like that lesbians still wins no matter what. Like,
It's universal. I mean, everybody likes everybody likes
we all like the ones in the movies, but if you ever meet the ones like in a town who own a candle shop, they're not fun. They look like you and me, dude. It's like,
Those are my favorites. They always back clean up on the softball team.
Yep.
drive motorcycles.
But they keep going through pictures because they keep dating her and dumping her. It's like they go through the whole thing. They broke one in.
They know how
Straight
to
girl
change
used to
my
be.
tire.
They can pick me up on my wedding night if I ever get married.
Carry me across the threshold.
So in search terms, lesbian number 1, hentai 2, ebony 3, Latina 4. Does ebony just mean black?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ebony? Does that mean woman though? It's
I
not
think
female, just I've never heard of a man called Ebony.
Have you heard the song?
Ebony and Ivory, yeah.
He wasn't
That's
a guy.
piano.
I mean, he
It's
wasn't
not
a
even
girl.
people. That's a piano keys.
I think it was more about piano.
Is that what that meant?
I think it was about
Yes.
more than the piano.
Wow.
Ebony and Ivory. You're tickling the ivories on the piano. That's the two things there.
Oh,
But-
I
yeah.
thought
but
it
if-
meant something completely different.
That's her search terms.
Asian, threesome, stepmom, big, and then it has a black line over it. So I'm guessing that's cock. But then it says BBC, cream pie, Japanese. Japanese couldn't even beat cream pie. Poor people. Anal, black, and then big with a black line again. So what would that line be?
Maybe one's
I think it's just big anything. It's kind of what the underscore.
Well, the BBC was fine, and that's big and black. And
but I think the first C is for cock and then the second one's for cunt.
no
It's
one's
the guys
searching
from the
cunts.
first
Big
one
cunts.
looking for the second one.
Oh my God, is someone actually writing that in a search?
Looking for hot dogs to throw down the hallway.
How did you search for that?
Maybe it's tits.
Yeah.
You both went, Have you
Probably-
ever both
probably
together
true.
home tits before?
Yeah, that
Tits.
sounds good.
Yeah.
I want to feel like it's tits. I don't know why, but like the number 1 porn star is according to PornHub is I don't know her name. Abella Danger or Abella? How would you say Ablla?
Abella.
Abella, yeah.
That was quick, my
You
Bob.
guys seem to know.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Everywhere. You can't avoid her on Reddit. Fuck.
Right in my wheelhouse.
Never heard of her.
I'm not on Reddit. So Abella Danger, Lana Rhodes, Riley Reed, Violet Myers, Angela White. That's your top 5.
Okay.
Does that make them more money if they're in the top 5?
Yeah. I think
don't
that's
know
how
the
they
rules,
determine who the top 5 are, probably.
We've had porn stars in this show, but we usually have the ones that are like the C or the L list porn stars. Like they look like me, but with a little more hair. Like that's just about it. It's like they're not a
really
good
stretching
time.
the limits of the word star is what
Yeah.
you're trying to say.
And by the way, and also use the word stretch for them a lot too. Because
Oh, we actually live in the porn capital of the world, so we see them at Starbucks.
I grew up there. Yeah.
do you recognize them?
Of course. Well,
I've never. I mean, except for
You can tell by the way they look. I mean,
No, but I mean, like when you're watching porn, you're not like really super focused on them like you would in a movie. You know what I mean? It's not the same kind of thing. So I think you would look and go, I think I know them. And then like while you're having a coffee, go, oh fuck porn. Like that's what happened with me. It wouldn't be like right away, like, oh, I know your work.
You'd start to wave and then be like,
these
oh,
are very
wait.
well-known faces, so I think most people would recognize.
Oh, okay.
she's like in line at Starbucks and like, remember that scene you were in when you were like getting double fucking fucked and you were like,
Yeah. That's what I ordered, double fuck macchiato. That's what I got here.
I think I recognize you. Can you flip upside down and put your leg behind your head?
get over a little bit.
But that's how you can find out their real names because they're not putting their porn star on the cup, are they?
I would.
They're not yelling out Riley Reid, are they? They're probably yelling out her real name.
Now I know what to put on my
Yeah.
Starbucks cup.
Oh,
Riley Reid. Yeah.
No, Peter North.
you just aged yourself right there.
I really did. That's how I was
Put
really
Peter
digging.
put Peter South. They're like, ooh, it's so exotic.
It's his brother.
Those kids at Starbucks
Cousin.
don't know who that is.
I like that you aged yourself. All right, name me a cooler man porn star.
I don't know anyone cooler than Peter North.
That's how
That guy
old
fucking-
Brian is.
that guy-
Yeah, that's the one I know.
They
Oh, and
just
the
don't
one that
fuck
Bob-
like they did back in the 80s, Pat. I'm
The
telling
one
you,
that
these
Ben-
male porn stars of today, they'd be in the hospital by halftime going up against with the guys of my generation.
Bobby, the one that banged the girl
cut
you
it.
like, Lindsay Lohan. What's his name?
James
Dean,
Dean.
the sausage guy.
James
that's-
Dean.
Yeah, I've heard of
But he's also in the news for being awful, so that's why I know he is.
He doesn't do much acting.
No. Top categories. Number 1 is ebony. I thought we said that was the funny. So you can search it, but the top category is ebony, then lesbian, then threesome, then transgender, then MILF. MILF fighting strong at 59%.
Yeah.
But the most, lesbian number 1. But despite domestic problems, including soaring inflation, as the article turns, towards soaring inflation and political polarization, America was still the country with the highest daily traffic to PornHub. So they're like, even though people are beating each other, they're still jerking off. Which, why does it even have anything to the fact they're trying to still make sex by watching it on video is so bad that they're like, oh my God, the world's being beaten down. The COVID happened. How can we have sex sometimes? It's like,
Are they trying to actively combat No Nut November? Like, does the Pornhub analytics drop in November, you think?
no, because they put up video, they support it. On Pornhub, it says on top, it's No Nut November. And then, because then people go on, because then there's the women who go on there and challenge the men to not nut. Go, get as close as you can
It's like
get.
TikTok.
We had someone on here, one of the porn stars was talking about that and like getting them to go to the close. I'm like, what do you win? And she's like, well, the fact that you know you didn't do it. I go, yeah, but who cares? Who are you going to tell? Porn star who I paid $10?
Who sits there and goes, you know what's not challenging enough? Not nutting for the month of November. Let me tempt myself on top of this. I really want to earn this title.
Man, I'll forget about my crippling depression and aloneness by just making myself not come. That'll do it. That'll make me feel so much better.
It's funny how those challenges are always involving men. Women don't have challenges.
Yeah.
No. Well, the women's challenge is, how do I do this again today to make money? Like, how do I take myself,
Every day
go
is
on
a
this camera?
challenge.
I know, and just go. That's the hardest thing. And I've always made this joke, and I know it sounds fucked up, but whenever I see a homeless woman, I go, she has standards, because because a guy is out there and he's growing, and women would always be like, I'm not going near that. That guy's awful and just scary. But there's every guy in the world, there's always a horny guy who will be the worst. He could be the worst woman. It could be Casey Anthony outside holding the knives and the kids. He's like, I could change her. Come on in. You're like, it's just so he can sleep with her. So it's like, men are so much creepier at that level alone. If you're a homeless woman outside, you are Hitler. Like that's what happened. You're the worst thing ever.
I think
Big
she
A
just
was
doesn't
married.
Have teeth is what it is.
Oh,
You can search that. Gum jobs are huge. Are you kidding me? Like that's big time. Don't get them silly teeth get in the way of a good time. But number 2 country for searching porn is the United Kingdom, and then France, Japan, Mexico, and Italy. Meanwhile, they said they go in more into 27-year-old Floridian, in case you wanted to know where she was from. Abella Danger rose up the ranks. She wasn't number 1 last year, but she beat out Lana Rhodes, who fell to second place. So they had to kill her. They killed Lana Rhodes.
that's terrible.
It's all right. They'll make a new one. There's
Word on
always
the
a new Lana
street
Rhodes.
is after the game, Lana Rhodes was in the gym taking dicks well after midnight, and the crew just wanted to clean up the set.
Yeah. She's the first one into the porn set and the last one to leave. That's what they always say about her. She was the Kobe Bryant of sucking dick. She worked harder than anybody else.
And Michael Jordan of fucking.
She'll be back. It's
If
losses
one
like
of them
this that
doesn't
define her
have that
character.
catchphrase is the Michael Jordan of fucking. Oh, that would be amazing.
You don't want to see her virus game, though.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that a Nike swoosh on your shoe? Oh, no, that's just jizz. It just dried that way. It's my bad.
See that dick? Just blew it.
Is it in you? Oh, Gatorade's now sponsoring you? No, we're just asking. Is it in you? Your asshole's huge. You can't tell. All right. So, and then it goes on the article a little bit more just to kind of talk more about how, like, the world's getting weird because of stepmom and panties and pegging are the three of the biggest searches.
Yeah,
And,
stepmoms are fucking. That's a weird search. I mean, it's all over PornHub.
Well, you never had a stepmom.
No,
Yeah.
I've had two, and I don't want to fuck either of them.
no.
They're just women that were trying to replace my mom.
When you're trying to replace your dad.
I hate fuck them or something. I don't know. Like,
I've never thought, you know what? My dad probably knows what good sex is. I hope I get to have what he's having. Like, why would I want to do that?
I'm going to introduce you to a game I call Gatteca.
Oh, you have no idea. We'll play that next real quick before you guys go. By the way, Bobby, just so you know, the number one buzzword in Wisconsin is pegging.
Since you guys are new to the show, I have a lady
Yeah.
friend in Wisconsin who...
Yep. Bobby, like long term or like long distance. I think it's a guy made up catfishing. But anyway, this woman, she's in Wisconsin. So she brings up pegging. She's not just saying it, Bobby. It's a lifestyle there in Wisconsin.
It's a lifestyle.
Out here too, I've heard.
Yeah, a lot of people talk like I'm a stand-up comic. So if I go to open mics, a lot of comics will go on stage and talk about that now. Not like it's a joke. It's like, so we were pegging, and then the joke happens. I'm like, wait, that's the setup? Like you're just out loud saying you're getting pegged? Like
Wow.
that is. I mean, to each their own, I guess. But like,
No, not
just
to each
fuck
their
a
own.
guy. Just
No.
be gay.
Bobby's like,
I
no.
No, but I mean, it's not for me, but I'm not fucking them either, so I don't care. I'll never care what other people fuck. You know, just don't fuck me. I mean, leave me alone. That's
Yeah.
about it. That's like,
Get away with all your dicks. Fuck you.
I don't know. I just think that once you have to go out and buy supplies, you don't like sex anymore. I don't know. Once you I need an apparatus and a coal miner's hat. It's like, you know what? Just stay home. Like, you're
You have
good.
to keep
I'm
going
going
down
spunking.
that rabbit hole, you know? You just when does it end?
It's not a good box to open.
Yeah, you don't want to call it the rabbit hole. When does this end? Seriously, this is like cavernous hole down here. I think there's Chilean miners in here still. Look at them at it.
It's still trapped.
So, who is the piece of shit in this article? Is it the woman writing the article? Because once again, this is the New York Post. This isn't news. I'm sorry. The top porn star isn't news. Every story I do comes from the New York Post because they don't do news anymore. They just watch TikTok and Instagram and they write on shit now. It's hilarious.
Like our
So
show.
literally, someone saw the top 20 porn stars in the world in the best pegging places to live and said, I'm going to write an article and get paid for this. So is it that person for doing that? Is it Lana Rhodes for falling off her game, for not paying attention and becoming number 2 and fall? You got to pay. You once you get to the top, it's harder to stay. Like Ric Flair said, it's harder to stay on top. And also you have to beat the man to be the man. But you have to stay on top. Woo! I'm sure Lana's yelled that a lot. You gotta look behind and make sure. And porn stars are good at looking behind, so she should have known who was behind her. They usually do. So how did she do that? Or is it Wisconsin? Pegging? Really? What are you doing, Wisconsin? Just have gay sex. That's what you want to have anyway. Don't pretend because she has tits, it's okay. Just embrace it. It's what are you, Bobby's on and not being okay with living your best life? You'll be fine.
That's where I tend to agree with Aunt Nancy about those rules.
Do you, baby girl?
Back to Nancy.
Or is it the people that are searching Black Cock? All right. Which one of you two want to go first? You guys jump in.
Why don't you go first? Ladies first.
I'm going to say the Post.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Across the
agree.
board.
Definitely.
And I want to look
fucking around with
because
the
we
search.
usually bring up their names too. Yeah, it's Andrew Court, who we've brought up many times. This dude doesn't even try anymore. He just literally just watches stuff. One time he wrote an article about big women like to have sex with small men now. And then just wrote like
in that way.
That couple's still
it's
together.
They call them short kings or some shit like that.
I started instantly rooting against that short king.
Yeah, but how is that?
I never heard that.
I never heard that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Must be an East Coast thing.
It hasn't gotten out here yet.
Yeah.
No, it's a freak of nature thing. It doesn't.
Neither of the short people.
It's like, first of all, if you're a little person at sleeping with someone who's taller than you, the last thing you want is for them to give you a cute name on top of it. You already feel weird. You know what I mean? It's like, but hey, I love you for what you are, giant lady. She's like, whatever, short king. Fuck off. I don't need this. He's not a king. He's a mini prince at most.
A mini prince.
Hey, Shaq.
Yeah, but I'm in agreement with you. It's definitely the author of this thing. No matter what, the porn stars are doing their thing. If anything, what I do appreciate is that I guess they're, by doing this, it's one of the first times ever that they're really saying porn is normal and okay. And you're talking about it in a paper. Usually it's shunned, whatever. So it's like, I give them credit for at least writing about it, but then also trying to go, hey, there's a lot of domestic violence. That was a weird turn to go in the article for no reason and try to say, despite all that, we're still jerking off. It's like,
what the fuck?
Well, we need to relieve some stress. You know what I mean? Like, the world's been crazy. We were in
School shootings are up because people aren't jacking off.
Yeah. The only school shootings I want is jizz. You know what I mean? That's all I want. Not on the kids, the janitors, to the teachers. Kids. The kids go home.
Like the sponsor.
Yes. No Silk City there. It's fine. So, do you agree? Do you think it's the
New York Post? Definitely.
Yes. Bobby.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
I think it's the writer, but for different reasons. Like, he didn't get into the number one search topic, which is still lesbian. Like, let's explore that a little bit. Let's see. Maybe that's how we solve peace in the Middle East, right? The Israelis send their hottest lesbian. The Pakistanis send their hottest lesbian. We film it and all get to watch, and there's world peace. Like,
that's the war we need.
Right. It's for humanity.
You just need to make all the troops female.
I would be on board with that too.
Get rid of get the men out of the equation, then we won't have any problem.
Does it just like scissor each other? Like how do they?
You've seen oil wrestling.
Oil wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
And the other
I would
thing,
love to see our Karen white women get it handed to them by third world country African women who have lived a real life. Oh, well, they're asking for a manager and they're getting a spear through their head. Oh, yeah, I'd like to see that.
Everybody's all bitching about Brittany Griner until war comes to oil wrestling, and then you're lucky we have her on our side. The other thing you should have explored too is I'd like to see the possibility of Riley Reid coming in at number 3, my personal favorite on the list, and Lana Rhoades teaming up like like LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Maybe pull a Chris Bosh into the team, and then they become the super team that's unbeatable.
I like that.
I feel like the writer could have led them down that path, Pat.
That's a power move, though.
Yeah.
Do you think that Riley's reading that article?
Oh, Jesus.
I'd be surprised if Riley could read, Pat.
No, she was on what was the podcast she was just on? What's his name? Logan Paul. And it's just like she was on there. Asked her. They made a joke like, "Well, in your spare time, you don't have sex, right?" She goes, "Yeah, that's what I do. I fuck." I gave her credit for that. She goes, "What do you think? It's just my job?" Yeah, I have sex all the time, and that's what I do. I was like,
I just remembered something. Can I change my answer?
no.
I just remembered a very important piece of information.
Go ahead.
The piece of shit in this story is Kevin Durant.
Okay, I like this. Basketball
Because
player Kevin Durant.
For those of you who don't know, Kevin Durant is the father of Lana Rhoades' baby, allegedly. Like, this is a whole story that she was like, there's an NBA player who did this. If your girl, baby mama, is up for the number, like, buy some votes. Start getting people to search for her. Start a Twitter campaign. I thought we had winners in this family, Kevin.
Bobby, don't you understand that's why she's in second now? Because there's so many racist jerk off people. They're like, she slept with a black man, and then they took her vote away and they went to the other one. That's what happened there.
I don't know how
ignorance ruined the top spot.
I don't know how to break this to you, Pat, but they didn't have to hear the rumors about Kevin Durant to know she slept with the black man.
I know. Well, they're like, wait, just one? Usually it's a whole team. It's like,
you are the father.
Apparently, you know the fart in the jar girl that was like made her career selling farts in a jar?
Oh, that was the
90-Day Fiance chick.
Yeah, so we had her on morning, and I asked her because she said like an NBA player flew her out to Las Vegas to party with her one night, and I told Bill to ask her if it was Kevin Durant, and I've never seen a woman go so white because we nailed it right away. Like he is just a horn dog, and I love it. I'm here for it.
tall motherfucker.
I like how PornHub is his Grubhub. He just orders from it. He's like, I'll just take one of those. That's great. Might as well. You got all the money in the world, I guess. But I guess you're real bored when you're getting fart in a jar, lady. Like, you know, it's like, all right.
Wow.
He's
Kinda hit
like
the bottom of the barrel there.
Or the bottom of the jar.
The jar.
he gets done giving his MVP speech, thanking his mom, being like, "She's the real MVP." All right, mom, get out of here. I got to go bang somebody I met on Pornhub.
And he's like,
Bobby, I think it's funny that you think he's doing that. He sadly has an entourage where one guy's job is to order fart in a jar girl for him and make sure she's in the room.
Absolutely. My favorite is though when like NBA players just break that whole facade because there's like supposed to be a level of professionalism, but Paul Pierce on New Year's just aired a party one time online. Do you know what I'm talking about, Brian? Where it was just like him and strippers.
yeah.
And they weren't like top of the line strippers either, Pat. It was just him having a ratchet party. And he was like, "This is what I do. I'm Paul Pierce."
Oh, I mean, forever before the internet and all that stuff in Atlanta, when all the teams would go to Atlanta and the strip clubs there, so many strippers there would have babies with NBA. Like Patrick Ewing was supposedly have one or two there. Anybody that would fly in, you would go there, sleep with them, get them pregnant, and it would just circle through the whole time.
That's why Atlanta's got all these D1 prospects now. They're like, why is this small town in Atlanta got all these 5 stars coming out?
Yep, 5-star prospect, but they've never won an NBA championship. You know, because you can't live there, because then you would just get strippers pregnant. You gotta be an away team.
Oh my God.
It's like, Bobby, you want to do your Gatteca? Then let them get out of here.
Sure. Have you guys ever seen the movie Gatteca?
It's been a while.
But you do know what it is.
Gatteca.
You might be our first
But
person,
most
Brian.
people don't, so I'm shocked that he does. I've heard of it too.
It was a sci-fi movie from, I believe, the early 2000s. But basically,
Ethan Hawke was in it.
yeah,
Oh, that's right. Ethan Hawke. I remember that.
Okay, Uma Thurman, Jude Law.
yeah. It's basically the plot of the movie is we get to a point where you genetically engineer your kids, and Ethan Hawke's a normie, and he gets to be an astronaut, and then they find out it's not really him, but the security guard lets him through in the end, and is like, "I knew you were lying all along. Lefties don't pee with their right hand." And I wish I was making a joke, but that is a pivotal plot point. But it does beg the question: if we get to a point in humanity where you can design everything in your kid, and it comes to that point, and the doctor asks you, "How big are you going to make your son's dick?" Because
I hate this every time he does this.
it gives Pat the hives.
You don't have kids, dude. Like, you don't want to know about your kids' genitalia.
But
go ahead.
like, if you make it super big, right, he's probably going to be an
Stop it.
asshole. If you make it super small, he's probably going to be hardworking and determined, but rougher life. You know,
This is like an Anakin Skywalker question. Like,
it really is. It's
how bad do you make them?
You know how Socrates would ask questions so people would learn something about themselves? I like to think that that's what Gatteca is, the modern day Socratic method.
Well, then you also think girth. Like, we had that porn star Ebony, what's her name, brought that up. Like, thanks for putting that in my head. You got to think about your kid's girth too.
She did give the best answer of all time, Ebony Mystique, which was the biggest I've ever seen is 14, so 15, because my kid's going to be the best. It's like that's kind of that parenting thing about you saying your kid murdered somebody, you take the body pad. That's kind of the same.
Well, we also had one guy, Ray Cotolo, answered that. Do we have to put it where it goes, or we put it somewhere else? And I was like, that's even a weirder question. He wants to put on their forehead or something like that. It's like,
Chin.
My favorite thing Ray ever did, he's a regular on this, is he went to an open mic and got tired of just dick jokes working. Like, he was like, that's the only thing people laugh at. So he wrote a letter to his dick and read it at an open mic. And it was like super sarcastic and nobody got it. But I'll be damned if for those 5 minutes he didn't power through. And at that moment I was like, Ray, we're going to be friends. Because I found that hilarious.
That's beautiful. That's a great joke.
Don't sit with me right now, but we're going to be good friends in the future.
So, how big would you guys make your kid's penis?
Ooh.
Now, also, this has been asked too. This has been asked too, because this was weird. Yes, it grows with the child, so it's not going to be a baby with a huge penis.
It's proportional.
Okay.
I mean,
So
you could tell.
it'll eventually become what you make it. It doesn't. It's diaper changing isn't weird.
I like how specific this is getting.
Well, we've done this many times, and it gets really heated and crazy.
Too many times, to be honest.
I don't know. This is a hard question, Shayna.
Yeah, get it? Hey, hard.
Well, I have 2 boys, so the 8-year-old
Oh, shit.
and the 13-year-old still take a shower together. And unfortunately, they're both packing the same size, even though their ages are different.
Oh,
Just put
no.
that out here.
That poor 13-year-old.
Yeah, I know the 8-year-old didn't care less about that.
I don't know if the 8-year-old is like huge or if the 13-year-old is a little behind.
What's your preference? Not your kid.
I would
Thank you
like
for
them both.
clarifying.
This episode's sponsored by what's that hot sauce thing?
Frank's.
If I had to choose, I'd want them both to be like the average. Like what's average? 7 inches?
4? That's what I've heard. 4?
I was gonna say, Brian's cool.
Yes, it is.
I was like, God damn. What's the average? 14? It's like, all right. We're not even sitting on a couch. We're just sitting on his penis. That's how big.
West Coast average and an East Coast average.
Wisconsin's 2 inches of pegging. That's about it.
I don't like that you keep going to that, Pat.
That's where we're going, Bobby. But she has brought up a good point. I never thought of this. Would you, if you had 2 kids, like twins, would you make one big, one small as an experiment to see which kid had the better life?
I'm pretty interested in human behavior. That might be something I would do.
But you have to just study your kid's dick game the entire time. That's weird.
No, I think they both need to be average. I think because that gives you the best chance in life. Because a lot of women they don't like the big boys.
Right. Well, I like is you ever know somebody that was ugly, as a guy's ugly, but you find out that he had a big penis because that guy has to have a great personality, and then the woman is rewarded because he's so ugly.
It's like a little
She's
Aesop's
"But he's so
fable
sweet."
in his pants.
Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden, here's your big penis. So I would make my child ugly and then give him a big penis, or make him attractive with a small penis. So like he'd have to work on his personality no matter what.
Twins
There's
would be
a lot of work.
tough. But if they were different ages, like the older child has to be the trailblazer for the younger child. So I'm gonna give the older kid the big dick, be like, you've earned it. You know, you had to move when you were in 7th grade, so Clyde could have a future in 5th. Anyway,
He just beats bullies with his dick.
yeah,
Yes.
trailblaze with this.
Yeah, but you have to remember that the biggest bully for a kid when he's growing up is his older brother. And he's just like, haha, Dad made me the bigger dick on purpose. It's like, you find out because Dad would get drunk. Bobby, you would get drunk and tell them.
Yeah,
When
I
you were
mean,
little, I picked out your penis. That was me.
I'm just happy to think that there's a point where I'd have a woman who wanted to have my kid, Pat. So I'm happy for that.
I hope, hopefully not out of wedlock. That'd be Aunt Nancy. Take your fucking ass.
And Nancy'd be like, okay, we don't believe in abortion, but we're going to take this secret, like the child, to the grave.
And on that awful note, thank you guys so much for being on the show. Please tell people where they can follow you, check you out, all that stuff.
We're on Total BS Network on Twitter, Total BS Live, YouTube, and
You can just go to totalbsnetwork.com. You can find us everything.
There you go.
For all your total BS needs.
All of
It's
it.
there. There
Yeah.
it is.
yeah.
Bobby.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thank you guys. You were fun. Thank you.
You guys
You
were
guys were a lot of
fantastic.
fun. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I said to Bobby, he goes, "There's a couple coming." I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna suck." And he's like, "No, they're fun." I go, "Okay, they were."
on you,
Like,
though.
hey, you never know.
No, you guys were fantastic, and good luck with everything. I'm glad that I found
you so
you.
much.
I did it, like I said, I did a bit of a deep dive. Then I'm in. I think you guys have a fun product, and I hope people check it out, and it continues to grow. Check out the Davey Mac Sports program while you're checking out when you're done with Total BS. If you want some sports news, we had the Master of Chaos, Kevin Knight, on this week. You can watch me make him incredibly uncomfortable within the first 5 minutes of the episode. Apparently, he didn't like Robin Williams jokes. Who knew? Also, check out. I was going to say the POS show, but I'm on the POS show right now. So head over to our Patreon. It would be the best Christmas gift you could give us. And buy Silk City Hot Sauce using promo code POS to prove you aren't a pedophile.
All right, I'll be at Mohegan Sun on Thursday at 10 o'clock show. Go check that out. I'll be Saturday. I'm in East Hampton, Connecticut, headlining the show there. The regular Avery Quinn on the show as well. Go to the YouTube, check that out. And Silk City Hot Sauce. Sorry about all the advertising. Go there, no matter what you do, but no pegging. That's the new rule. Forget it, Bobby. You know what? 2023, Wisconsin, no sauce for you. That's how we do it. Ryan, Jared, thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Thank
I really
Pat,
appreciate
Bobby,
it.
appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Good one.
And if you can't join them, beat them, and don't be a piece of shit.